Hi, thanks for watching, and we are actually there. It's Friday the 16th of November 2018, the day Mercury Retrograde actually happens, and I'm going to get onto that in a second, but right now let's have a look at what's happening today. We had a comparatively short void of course period from 3:58 a.m. UK time here to 4:41 a.m. Last night here in UK, and the moon entered Pisces then, so that increases emotions, and because of that we're more receptive to other people's emotional feelings. It's quite a good day for people coming together and talking. People like to help, people are willing to make sacrifices. I'll say it again, you get out what you put in, don't forget that one. But people are definitely willing to make sacrifices at this time, if they're ever going to be, and emotions tend to take over from common sense a fair bit. So it's good to do things where you need your imagination, you need to feel inspired, because you almost certainly will, rather than using just reasoning everything out and making kind of cool logic about it. That's where we're going in the sign of Pisces. The body tends also to be a bit more responsive, to drugs, alcohol, anything like that. So, even with your medication, be aware of that. Whatever you do, don't kind of interrupt your medication, but do be aware of it, because we may become aware of things like that under this transit. Okay, so then as we go through the weekend, the moon is right the way back into Aries, and the cycle starts again on Sunday. We are just past full moon. The moon at the moment is 56.8% full. We are not just past full moon, sorry, we're just past half moon, which is first quarter. Quarter because it comes up to half, up to full, down and down like that. It's a 4-stage thing. So she's halfway up, but we are still in first quarter, and we've been there since the 15th. Okay, now the alignments today, just looking down the chart. The moon is square Jupiter. Now, this is a change from the other day. Situations tend to get a little bit overblown in our minds. Not necessarily that things actually outgrow, but we overrate things. Things just get a bit bigger in our heads than they really are. So we need to evaluate critically. Feelings can be quite misleading under this transit, and things can overgrow a bit as well. But it's generally speaking usually a pleasant, comfortable kind of time. Who knows, right? It's the Mercury retrograde day. What is Mercury up to? Mercury is square Neptune. Communications unclear, boundaries are vague. It's a time when deceptions may be perpetrated and escapes attempted. Oh, right, so it's quite a sticky day in terms of that, because Mercury does actually go retrograde today. And let's have a look at that. It's actually tomorrow here in UK. It's 1:33 a.m. here tomorrow in UK, but 9:33 p.m. tonight Eastern time, and 3 hours, what's that, 6:33 p.m. on the Pacific coast. So Mercury retrograde is very much here in your evening if you're in the States and Canada. So it's beginning to arrive. It's actually nothing to worry about at all, but I go on about it because it is very much worth being aware of. Mercury retrogrades are usually, well, in fact, they're always something to do with communication and making us aware of anything in our own ways of communicating and our friendships and the way we get on with other people. We kind of have to guess a certain amount, don't we? Particularly when we're dealing with other people. And we're all driven and guided by images which are locked into the subconscious mind in childhood. And we don't actually have access to those images. So we tend to be driven and motivated by things within ourselves, and in that sense it's healthy, things within ourselves which may not be all that good for us, which may be slightly illusory. And this is where it's good to start following something that's rock solid and has been since the dawn of time, which is astrology and the movements of the planets. Old manuscripts have been found that nobody can identify or know what they mean, but there are definite pictures of stars and constellations, more or less as we know them today. The ancients were following it to make sure their crops grew and everything else ran smoothly, and that's what we're looking at now. And why would we need that in a modern world where we've got so many guarantees? Well, look around you. Are any of the guarantees really guarantees? We're going through Brexit in the UK at the moment, and how on earth that could possibly happen when we pay those politicians so much, I do not know. Things just don't tend to go to plan when we only look at the human side of it. So I'm looking at the stars, the planets, the heavens as well, and I'm saying Mercury retrograde is here pretty much from this evening in UK. well, early hours of tomorrow morning in UK, but pretty much it's coming in. You know, you don't look at your watch and all right, Mercury retrograde, 3, 2, 1, Mercury retrograde. No way. So we're just about there, and that influence is starting to happen. Then we have the Mercury retrograde phase intensified, which goes on from the beginning of it basically right through until Wednesday the 21st. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the first of 6 days, or maybe 5.5 days, when we'll feel the main effects of Mercury retrograde. We then have the Mercury retrograde phase not intensified, and then Mercury slows down before stationing direct on the 6th of December. And then we have the post-shadow phase, and that goes on and on, but the 24th of December sees the total end of it. You'll be glad to know. Spaceweather.com, I'm having a look because a new comet has been discovered and things are quite interesting in space at the moment. Have a look at spaceweather.com if you've got time. It's that simple, spaceweather.com, and you're in. Solar wind speed today, 346.2 kilometers a second, pretty slow. The proton density is beginning to build up a bit, and this is because Earth's polar magnetic field will be disturbed on the 18th and 19th of November this year by a high-speed stream of solar wind. It's coming from a relatively small hole in the face of the sun, so it's not going to be really bad and extreme, I hope. But it's coming, and it plays into anything to do with electronics, particularly where those electronics have got something to do with communication. Particularly, it also plays into psychic goings-on as well. So that's worth knowing about. It's on its way, and we're building up for that one at the moment, but it doesn't look a really terrible one. Nothing to worry about. Don't even worry about Mercury retrograde, okay? Worrying about it is not the way to sort anything out. The thing to do is keep going, keep doing what you're doing. Expected travel, transport, communication could go a little bit funny, like your car might suddenly be knackered or something, like mine, for example. But it never actually knackers anyone so much that they can't function. It's just to show us the other side of ourselves, or one of the many other sides to ourselves, and that's worth knowing about. Okay. Well, on that note, folks, thanks very much for watching. Bit of a long-winded one today, but there is so much happening. Have a brilliant day. I hope I'll be here tomorrow. I'm always trying. Okay, keep it real, keep it out there, and I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.